Hi FlossTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Robin and this is my channel Lady Robins. I'm also Lady Robins on Instagram, so you can follow me in two places if you would like to. I would like to say a welcome to brand new friends and subscribers. I'm really happy that you're here. And to returning friends and subscribers, welcome back. I'm thrilled that you're here seeing what I'm up to again. It is Thursday. It is the 14th of April. And this morning we had snow. It's just crazy. Here in Seattle on the 14th of April, it snowed for probably 3 hours. Now, of course, it didn't amount to anything. It was those big gloppy snowflakes, those big wet snowflakes that don't accumulate, but they sure look pretty falling down. I took a couple of pictures and a little quick video, and I'll try to insert that at the end for you so you can see what I was talking about. But it's just crazy. We've got relatives that live along the Columbia River Gorge, and we were checking in with them and they had 9 inches of snow. It's just ridiculous. Or 5 inches, 9 or 5, who cares, right? But they had an accumulation, so I think spring is confused. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have my mug. I'm holding my mug, and I thought we'd start doing our mug of the day, and here we are. We are in New Jersey, and these flowers, they got me. I thought when I pulled this mug out, I thought this was the Japan mug, because they have a beautiful mug that's full of the cherry blossoms all over the mug, and I was like, gosh, I didn't think I'd bought that one, but maybe I did. No, it's New Jersey. But that's okay. I have got a nice vanilla latte for my beverage today, so I will be enjoying my latte as we go through what I've been stitching this week. So let's start off with a beverage, shall we? Good stuff. Need a second swig. Okay, all right, I don't have any FOs or FFOs to show you this week, but I will tell you I had my parents I was with the parents all day yesterday, and they swung by, and so I was able to show Dad the coffee bird, and I told him how I was planning on finishing it for him. He is thrilled and excited, so I'm hoping to get this this finished as a little flat mount, and then I'll put a little hanger on the back so they can hang it right by their coffee pot in their little tiny kitchenette area at their assisted living apartment. So that was fun to show my dad that I did get Coffee Bird stitched up for him. So now I need to stitch it for myself, right? So that's on my list of plans. I'd really like to sit down and get that stitched up for myself because it's so cute. And then I've already got a friend that I want to pass that to. So I gotta stitch this stitch, right? I worked on my Whipco pieces this week. So let me show you where I got to. My desk is a wreck, you guys. I'm gonna be digging and plowing through stuff through the whole video, so you'll just have to forgive me. I just couldn't get things very organized, and so I'm just going with it. I figured a slightly disorganized floss tube is better than no floss tube. That's what I'm hoping I hope you agree. Okay, so one of my Whipco calls was Fill the Pumpkin. Technically the Philanthropic Pumpkin from Hands On Designs. This was a special. It was a chart that Kathy and, oh gosh, I can't remember the first name of the gal who is LadyDot creates, but they teamed up to create this pattern to raise money, and I believe it was for Special Olympics in the fall last year, and I was lucky enough to snag one. So that was my Whipco call, and I've got all the stitching done. Yay for all the stitching done. I'm sorry it's a little wrinkled, but that's me. I usually don't iron until I absolutely have to. So it's not an FO. I just have the stitching done, but I still need to do the back stitching. And I don't know if you can see it very well on the pattern, but you know, there's some back stitches here, the you know, the cute little crows, I'm assuming holding a vine, and then there's some back stitching inside the pumpkins that still need to go in. So it's not an FO by any means. I still have, I'm guessing, probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half of back stitching, and then it will be an FO. However, what I've decided to do is, for my Whip Go challenge, I stitch on a piece for 5 days, and then I put it down, and then I do my next Whip Go, and that gives me time to do other things in the month. So so while I'm close to an FO, I'm actually going to set this aside because I need this out, you know, in September or October. And I'm thinking, if it's not called by September, I'm gonna switch my switch my Whip Go numbers and make this my September stitch. I really thought I'd get it completely done. However, the frog bit me big time on this piece. Not that it matters all that much, but this little, I don't know, flower, leaf, whatever it is, I had stitched it in the wrong place. And this is stitching I had done before Whip Go. And so when I picked it up, you know, I just counted off of that, and I got these birds done, these 3 pumpkins done, and I was working on these guys, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's not lining up with the interior. And I was like, where am I off? And I counted and I counted, and you know, and I'm like, no, that's right, and that's right to that, and that's right to that. No, that's okay. I don't know where that, well, you know, the spacing is right from here to here. Oh yeah, that's right. And then the spacing from this bird to this bird is right. So that's right. But wait a minute, the spacing from the bird to this element, they're not right. And it took me a while to figure out where my error was all the way back here. And so then I was like, can I fudge it? And at that point, I'm like, I have done this before where I've gotten far enough along where my error is so far back, I'm like, I'm just gonna fudge it and see if I can make it fit. The problem is, since this is pretty much a symmetrical design, you can't really fudge it. I mean, it was, once you knew that this bird was way too high above this little stitched element, there was no not seeing that. And then I was worried when I finish it, these will be so much higher and, you know, spaced out further. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to make the pumpkin finish, you know. And so I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna bite the bullet. And so I sat on, I think it was Sunday, and or maybe it was Saturday, I can't remember, it doesn't matter, right? And I took all of this back out. I mean, it's like, what, not quite, but maybe a fourth of it, and I backed it all out. I unstitched all of that, and then I started again. But now it's right, and I know for sure I won't have problems when it comes time to do the pumpkin finish. So anyway, I had a very frustrating, I think that was Saturday. I had a very frustrating Saturday, but it's okay now. It's okay, we're all good. But I'm not mad at it. It's not going in timeout. I've just decided there are spring and summer things that I'd like to stitch, like I'd like to stitch myself a coffee bird. So I'm gonna set that aside until closer to fall. So you won't see this for a while, but that is what I got up to. It's not so fun, is it? But that's what I got up to on Fill the Pumpkin. So we're okay now. We're okay. Sunday I thought I was gonna have a meltdown, but we're okay now. So the other Whip Go call for me has been a chart that I haven't stitched on in 2 years. Honestly, 2 years. This is my my Blackwork, Year of Blackwork sampler, I think they call it. It's at least a year of Blackwork. So anyway, I showed this to you last time, and so this is kind of your guide. This is a freebie from Peppermint Purple. They have a Facebook group, so you can, you have to answer the questions, but you can join. I'm pretty sure you can probably still join the Facebook group and download this from the files. This was, like I said, from 2019, I believe. But anyway, so it's each little square is a different Blackwork, and it's really beautiful. I'm not going to say it's fun stitching for me, because some of these squares I really have to think about where I'm at. It's not, cross, 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 cross. You really got to figure out where you are and what's coming next. But what I have done is I have finished this complicated block. That took me quite a while, and then this one, which was a much simpler, and that one whipped up pretty quick. And so I'm moving on to the next one, and each row is going to be a different color. I've kind of created a rainbow with my DMC floss. So I have done, technically I've done 3 days of stitching, but one of the days I think I put like, I don't know, 10 little bits in it. So I'm not really counting it. I'm in my head, I've decided I've really done 2 days of stitching. So I still have 3 to go. So I'm hoping that I will get down into the 4th row using my 4th color, which will be 208. So let me grab my ring of colors. So 208 is going to be that one. So that will be the next color in my rainbow. So I'm excited to be working on this again. And when I was looking at it, I went to my my stitch journal. If you haven't seen this before, this is by Chris Yo, Y-O-O, who is As the Yo Flies on Etsy, and all together, space, no spaces. And I was wondering, when on earth did I start that? So I thought, well, I'm gonna look that up. So in my little stitch journal, if you haven't seen this before, there is a page where you can list your projects. And so I looked it up. So the Year of Blackwork Sal, I started in February. Oh, February of 2020. It's not quite as bad as I thought. Okay. So anyway, I am very behind because you were supposed to do one of those squares every week. There's 52 of them. As you can see, I have not done one a week and finished it in a year. It's been languishing. So anyway, that is my WIPCO number 2 call. And so I'm going to give myself 3 more days of stitching on my Year of Blackwork Sal, because why not? It's so pretty, and it's kind of inspiring to think, oh, I'm moving on to the next color. So I'm going to do that. So because I've almost finished my WIPCO goals for April, what am I going to stitch on after that? So of course, you know that I'm working on Snowflower Diaries, and I am, inching my way to a finish on the June one. And so I broke this out, and so I got started on the border. And this is supposed to be my 25/7 stitch, where you stitch a piece, on the same piece 7 days a week for 25 minutes. I have completely fallen off the bandwagon on 25/7. I cannot figure out when to stitch on this because, I have to go to work in the morning now. I'm not a morning person. As much as I love cross stitch, I'm not giving up sleep so I can stitch before I go to work. Not happening. So a lot of times I think, oh, well, when I get home, I'll stitch for 25 minutes. When I get home, kind of relax, decompress. Oh, no, that doesn't happen either, because when I get home, I've got two boys that are looking at me like this. What's for dinner? Mom, what's for dinner? Which is not fun either. So then I think, okay, before I sit down for my evening stitch, I'm gonna stitch on my 20x7 piece. But so often I'm like, oh, but I really want to stitch on that, and if I start, you know, my 20x7 piece, then I'm not gonna want to put it down, so I'm just not gonna do it. So like, as you can see, I haven't figured this out. You know, a month into my new schedule, I still haven't figured it out. Oh my gosh, think good thoughts for me, because somehow I've got to get that going, because I need that finished. I need that finished so I can start July. Okay, so what did I stitch on anything else? I think it was just those three. The two Whipgoes and Snowflower Diaries. Those are the three, yeah, those are the three that I stitched on this week. However, I have made myself some plans. So I thought, okay, what needs some love? What needs some love that I haven't touched for a while? So my plans are to break out my berries again. And in case you've forgotten, heck, I've almost forgotten, it's been so long, I stitched one of the spring berries. So this is Hop into Spring. These are the Erica Michael Designs patterns. And so what I did is on the pattern, it shows, and I've got the pattern here, but it shows how far from the left of the pattern, the right of the pattern, the top and the bottom, you're gonna make like a little, almost like a little fan, little arced fan. And I thought, I need to figure out where that fan is gonna go. So I've counted from the pattern where the side is, and then I need to add a 1/2 inch all the way around for finishing. And the reason I'm doing that is I plopped this right in the middle of this section, and I'm wasting a lot of really nice Picture This Plus vellum fabric. So I want to, when I stitch the next one, I want to snug it up so I'm not wasting so much fabric. So I've been working on trying to figure out my placement for the next berry, because the next berry I want to stitch is this one. It's a monochromatic, it's all in a green, called It's Spring. So I want to stitch that one up next. So I got out an old Creative Memories page protectors, if you did scrapbooking, and I drew the arc on here, and I know you can't see that. I don't think you can see it. Well, there's a little line. And when I ordered berry stuff from Carla at Cobweb Corner, because I am trying to participate in Helen D's Berry Season Sal, all these great templates came, but I need it on the plastic so that I can put it over my stitching and try to line up where that, you know, that fan goes, so that I leave myself enough room for the seams, but not so much that I'm wasting fabric. So that's what I'm kind of working on right now, is I'm trying to get the placement figured out on my fabric for my second berry. Because once I have 2 of them stitched up, and I'm thinking this guy will stitch up pretty quick because it's all one color, then I'm going to sit down and I'm going to finish those 2. I don't know that I'll get to all 3 spring berries, but that's okay. 2 is better than 0, right? 2 is better than 0. And then from there, I'll move on to summer berries, because summer will be here before you know it, and I want some for each season done. And ideally, I'd like 2, well, ideally I'd like 3, but I don't think that's possible. I don't stitch quite that fast, but if I could get 2 done for each season, that would be pretty fun. So that's one of my plans on what am I going to do with the rest of my April. I am turning my attention back to berries. The other thing that I'm going to turn my attention back to is Bird Crush Club. I have fallen off the Bird Crush Club bandwagon, and so I now have 3 unstitched birds from the Bird Crush Club. So I'm just gonna flash the charts. If you don't wanna see what's in the Bird Crush Club, look away and I'll tell you when you can look back. But I have stitched the Stellar's Jay. I have not stitched the February bird, which is these cute little duckies. I also haven't stitched the Hummingbird, which is fantastic. And then the last one that just showed up last week, I believe, is the Warbler. And I love this one. Look at that. In fact, if you follow Stephanie Webb, whose company is Lindy Stitches, she just did a framing tutorial on her channel, which I highly recommend because she shows lacing. And lacing, if you haven't done it, sounds really super intimidating. It's not. It's really easy to do. Stephanie makes it look even easier. So if you need a good lacing tutorial, I would recommend watching Stephanie's latest video because she shows framing the Warbler in one of those signed and numbered frames. It's beautiful when it's done. Go watch that. So I need to get back on to the Bird Crush bandwagon, and I think I'm going to start with the Hummingbird because that's so pretty. And while I don't hate the ducks, I just want to stitch in that yummy multicolored iridescent floss for the Hummingbird body. So that's one thing that I want to get back to. So I want to get back to berries, want to get back to the Bird Crush. And then I, again, was watching Helen, and she has given us a freebie chart because she has now 10,000 subscribers on her channel. So congratulations, Helen. That's really exciting. Because of that, Helen has created another freebie pattern in her classic Helen style. I love her stuff. And it is called Fabric and FlossTube. And because it's a freebie, I can show you the chart. And so it has a fantastic pincushion tomato here. And I was thinking this would be so fun to create a bowl of smalls in addition to some of the Brenda Gervais ones out of this Keeper of the Pins chart. So I want to do these kind of as a little series together. So that's the other thing that is on my radar of things I would like to start sooner as opposed to later. So I'm trying to figure out how am I going to get all these plans, going. I don't know. We'll figure it out somehow. So that's also on my radar, again, sooner rather than later. And then the other thing that is on my radar is I was scrolling through Instagram and the Drawn Thread put out this pattern, and it was like a $4 PDF download. Proceeds going to help the Ukraine. And I thought, oh, I've got $4. How can I not? But this is the beautifulest, there's a word for you, pattern. And one of the girls I work with every Monday is a Ukrainian citizen. And so I was thinking I would like to stitch that for her. So this is another sooner rather than later item. If you're at all interested in this pattern, go to Instagram and just follow the links like I did, and you'll be able, like I said, I think it was a $4 PDF chart. You'll be able to find it as well. Okay, the other thing that I need to kit up and start is a chart by Silver Creek Samplers. Love you to death, but it's called Reaping Love is the actual name of the pattern, but I think of it as Love You to Death. My husband and I just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary, and this is spot on my husband's sense of humor. And so a couple of days before our anniversary, I thought I had picked out something for him that I knew was going to be perfect. And what was that? And I kept thinking, I do not know what I got him. I mean, in my head, I was like, I know I've got him something for our anniversary and I know he's going to love it, but what is it? I was supposed to be stitching this in January, February, or March to have it ready for April. Guess who forgot? So I gave him the pattern and I said, this is coming. He was like, okay, but he loves it. And so he has teased me a couple of times already. Hey, I don't see you kitting that up yet. So I need to kit this up and get my behind in gear and start stitching on this for my husband. So this is another, I have got to get started on this. In fact, almost before anything else, I need to get started on this for my sweet, sweet husband. So as you can see, I have lots of things that I need to stitch, that I want to stitch. We'll see what I start next week. You will hear it from me. A couple of things I wanted to make you aware of. You hear me talk all the time about Acorns and Threads down in Portland, Oregon. Just a fantastic cross-stitch store. Janine, who's the owner, is lovely. She just sent out an email that her Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, held at the end of September, is a go. It's a go this year for both in-person and Zoom. She's gonna do both. She's gonna have an in-person retreat and also a Zoom retreat. And she announced who the designers are that are going to be there. Hold on to your hat, people. Janine McGowan, whose company is the Blue Flower, and Stephanie Webb, who is Lindy Stitches. Those two ladies are going to be our designers at this retreat. So if you can't make it in person, I'm gonna move heaven and earth to get there myself. But if you can't make it in person, there is a Zoom option. So I am so excited about the upcoming Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. And because of that, I have a piece of, cross stitch. I have a whip that I haven't touched again in over a year that I would really love not only to get some love into, but to finish by September. And so this is coming out of mothballs. I am going to start stitching on Huckleberry Farm again. And I am just almost desperate to get a finish on that by September. So I'm going to have you guys hold me accountable. So I just want to show you where I'm at. I am right here. I'm barely anywhere. I am right there. I'm just starting that's the back of the bear that's in the corner of the pattern. You'll also notice that I have this on a scroll rod, and I don't know if that's what's stopping me, because I used to stitch on scroll rods all the time. That was the only way I knew how to stitch. And then I transitioned to stitching in hand. So I don't know if that's the hang up, why I'm not making more progress, but I am putting it out here, putting it out to the universe that I want that done by Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, which I believe is starting on Friday, September 23rd. Is that a Friday? Let's see. Yep, September 23rd. So I have got a lot of stitching because I'm like right there. So if you get sick to death of seeing Huckleberry Farm, my apologies now. Because I've got to get more stitching done on that, and also because Stephanie is going to be there. I'd love to have a number of her bird crush pieces done. So those two things are also on my radar. So I have got too much stitching. Heck, I should just retire. Don't you think? I think I should retire. That's not going to happen. Okay, so I thought I would leave you with one book recommendation. I kind of went nuts last week and gave you a gabillion, but I got a new book in the mail. I ordered it and it showed up in my mailbox on Monday, which I can hardly wait to start reading, which I say about every book, but this is true. This is by Ellie Alexander, who, as you know by now, writes the Bake Shop Mysteries set in Ashland, Oregon. This is a standalone novel, The Lost Coast Literary, and I can hardly wait to read it. It is going to be fantastic, I'm sure, because I love everything that Ellie writes. I'm a big old fangirl of hers. So this just came in. If you need a cozy mystery, Ellie Alexander. I do still have more ARC advanced reading copies from the conference to show to you, but I thought I showed so many, and so many of you said you really appreciated all those recommendations. I thought I'll just cool it, give you time to get some of those on your library holds list, maybe get one or two read, and then I will trot out the rest of them for you. So that's where we're at today, you guys. I appreciate you being here. It's always fun to visit with you. I hope that the time you spend with me is equally as enjoyable. I don't have a giveaway this week, so sorry about that, but I just didn't have time to dig through my stash and see what I could let go, but we'll have one soon enough. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and being here and being part of my Stitchy tribe. I really appreciate you all. Have a great week. Easter is Sunday, so happy Easter to you and yours. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you later. Don't forget, stitch happy, my friends, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye.